Hello, hello, how are we all doing? Oh no! Willow's missing! Wait! Hang on. There she is! Hello everyone! I'm about to enable her. There we go. We're good. Hey everybody, how are we all doing? How is everyone doing today? We all good? Hello Dino, hello Davis, hello Rain Dew. This is always the problem, like how do I pronounce people's names? Hello Angerfish, hello everybody, hello Taco, how are we all doing? We all good? Good. The music's a bit loud for me now, with some headphones down. Here we go. So, we are doing just general practicing drawings. We're going to do different sketching dragons and stuff, because I want to redesign all my dragon characters, including Willow, and I want to be able to draw them a bit better. Basically, I want a realistic style for dragons, and I say realistic in air quotes because, you know, they're not real creatures, but I want to be able to draw them a bit better, you know. So this is going to be general practice. I don't even know where to start though, to be fair. Like, this is always my problem. I don't know where to start doing things like this, so we'll have to see. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. I guess I've just got to get references and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. It's just general practice. But it's one of those things where, like, I don't even know where to start doing it. Also, I want to ask you guys, and I'm just brushing off my tablet, it's a bit dirty. I want to ask you guys, the starting soon screen, would you like me to put a countdown on that so you know when it's going to start? Because I don't have a general, like, set time of when I start it after I put that screen on, but, like, I don't know, maybe like a 5-minute countdown or something so you can physically see when it's going to start. Yeah, you want that? Okay, cool, I can do that. I just haven't. I've got to download a plugin on OBS to do that, so that's why I'm not done it for this stream. But I can download next stream. I can download a plugin and get that going for you guys. So I was thinking about that as I was on the starting soon screen, thinking that might help people, you know, figure stuff out, you know when we're gonna start and stuff. So yeah, cool. I'll do that then. And I'm also just gonna. I'm using the stream as a little bit of a test right now because tomorrow I'm streaming something on my gaming channel that I want to record for a video as well. So I'm just seeing if I can have 2 instances of OBS open and have one streaming, one recording. So I'm just testing out with this stream. It shouldn't affect the stream itself, but we'll see. Let me know if the stream lags at all. Oh, and new internet, guys. We got new internet, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it's all going to be nice and smooth, okay? Because I've got at least 150 megabytes per second now, and that'll be even more when I can possibly get an Ethernet hooked up or an extender hooked up. So, but our new internet goes up to 900 megabytes per second, so like it should be plenty. Right now, because in the room I'm in, the connection isn't great, which is just because of how the layout of the house is. That's not the internet's fault, but because the layout of the house, the room I'm in isn't perfect for connection, so I have lost a lot of that speed. So from 900 is what 900 is what it can be. I'm down to 150, which is quite a drop. 150 is still plenty for streaming and stuff. So yeah, that should get better as we go. So let me know how it goes. If you see any lagging in the stream or anything, let me know, because as I said, I am doing some testing. But yeah, let's start that recording so we can see how that goes. I was having troubles because for some reason the thing I use that lets me pin programs so that they don't minimize isn't working. So I'm going to make sure I've got everything open. So I'm having to do a lot of things to make sure everything's working right now. How's Flo and Shelby doing? They are doing fine. Shelby got neutered, so he's been he got neutered last Tuesday, so he's been chilling. Tiny bit of lag, okay. Let me know if that keeps up, because you saying that coincided with me starting the recording for testing the recording. So let me know if that keeps up. If it keeps up, then I know that I can't have 2 instances open. Because basically what I'm doing is I have an instance open that is on the stream screen that is doing the live stream, and I have an instance open that is on a full screen of Sai doing a recording. So if it keeps lagging, let me know, okay? If it keeps lagging for you guys, let me know, because I know I can't do that. Anyways, I need to get a reference for a dragon. So how do you guys suggest I do this? Because I'm like at a total loss of how to even start doing this. Like, I guess I get reference images, but like, it's just difficult to figure out where to even start with this sort of thing. Dragon. Let's just type in dragon. And it's also going to be difficult to find a non-AI images. Like, oh god. Like, I've just typed dragon into Google and I immediately see like 5 AI images. So, like, for God's sake. Recent pictures of reptiles and dinosaurs, that could help. I do want to specifically look at dragon anatomy. The main thing with dragon anatomy is where the wings go for me. It's getting the head right and the wings are the main things for me. I need to find, like... The thing is, I could use How to Train Your Dragon, but they're very cartoony style. I don't really want to use someone else's art. Can't use Game of Thrones because they're wyverns and I'm going for dragon. Yeah, it's quite difficult to find good references. Is that a... No, that's AI. That's definitely AI. God damn it. We'll get going in a minute, guys. I'm just looking. They're not, but they're also still stylized. Is what that's the word I meant to say. Stylized, not cartoony. They're stylized. No, I didn't. I said the wrong word. I meant stylized. Yeah, there is this show House of the Dragon. They are wyverns, so I could at least use them to look at the heads. There's the Arc Dragon, which looks awful, honestly. Spyro's quite stylized. Dragon... No, if I type in reference, I'm going to get people's OCs. You know, Dragon... It's easy, but also... At the same time, it's not. I think I need to do a dinosaur and get some references of some reptiles. Let me get Komodo dragon and have a look at its head. Because that's probably a good starting point, actually. We now need to get the basics down. And once I've got the basics down, I can then go from there and adapt that into different designs. So just get a Komodo dragon. Yeah, once I've got basics down, I can adapt that into different designs. Okay, hang on, I've got to move everything again. Like I said, I'm having issues with stuff. Let's go OBS back up. Has there been any more lag, or are we still good? Let me know if we're still good. So, I prefer to have things flipped that way. So I'm going to move that way. And let's think about this. So, the Komodo dragon... We're looking at general shapes here. So, if you think about how it is, it's got a very... Hang on, let me use a bigger brush. Got a very sort of square muzzle with a sort of... It's got a tip, doesn't it? And then it goes that way. So you can see... Or we already see a square in it. If I do that, you can already see there's sort of... Not a square, but like a polygon, almost. You can see there's a circular shape there for an eye, a circular shape there for an eye as well. So that gives you that, which looks quite silly. Hello, Astral Myth, how you doing? You can see there's like a jowl there, which is more like that. And then the rest of the head is also quite robust. So they're very, very robust creatures. And then if we try to translate that into a drawing, I always start with eyes. I don't know about you guys, but I always start with eyes. Check if it's on a yellow spotted salamander. You know, as soon as you say salamander, though, I just think of Toothless. Not necessarily his animated one, but his live action in quotation marks. Well, design is very salamander-esque. Got a smaller eyelid, and then that would be the rough eye. The thing is, the funny thing with me is I very rarely use guidelines, actually. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Maybe I should. Let me just get rid of those and let's just have a look at this in terms of guidelines real quick. So, I can see a line that could go there. I can see that it does that, that, and then it goes down. The mouth is doing that. Roughly. You've got an eye area that's there. See, the muzzle's doing that. There's another eye that sticks out here, coupled with a head. That's that. The mouth goes way further back. This is a Komodo dragon. I'm just using it as a baseline, because what Dino said was actually a really good point, is using realistic reptiles and stuff to look at. It's probably a good place to start. Do you have a schedule? Yes. If you go to my post tab on my YouTube channel, Davis, you'll see a schedule, a stream schedule. As for posting videos, I post every Friday. No, not every other Friday, so every 2 weeks at 6 p.m. GMT, which is UK time, which is actually in just under 2 hours. So you will soon be seeing a new video. So that's the rough shape. Let's then look into making that more realistic. So yeah, new video in just under 2 hours, guys. And if you are a channel member, you can go watch it now. Channel members get videos 24 hours-ish early, basically. So that's the muzzle line, which then leads into an eyelid. Leads into another eyelid. Leads into another eyelid. So that's to be perfect. Just however many I can get on with. I mean, they're mostly going to be rough sketches. Just practicing the anatomy and stuff. Then your eye. And then just another small eyelid. He looks kind of angry, but that's okay. Channel member, you basically go to that's a good question, actually. I think I've got a link for it in the description. But it's basically paid subscribe. It's the way to support creators in a paid way. So like, no one has to. That's why it's just, I'm just, you know, people who do pay to support me get bonus stuff because they pay. No, they're not all going to be made out of Komodo dragon. This is just in general me looking at reptiles right now. Just seeing how the reptile form goes. It wants to be perfect. Get an idea of it. Like that. He's kind of bumpy on the top. Nice bumpy scales. And then yeah, you have the sort of the scales that go around the mouth, which I can obviously do in more detail if I wanted to, but I'm not going to right now. Just line up, don't they? They do that. Roughly more of a over there. Okay, so that's confirmed that I can draw a reptile. We at least now know that I can draw a reptile, which is good. So let's pop those like that. Now let's see if I can find a dragon. Let me move this over here. No, wait, I don't want it in bookmarks. I want just a new window. Thank you. Okay. There, right, I've moved that over here. There we go. That's better. It's the most realistic Komodo dragon you've ever seen. That wasn't that good. Right, so if I go realistic dragon, let me type in realistic dragon, because that might give me something. Yeah, no, that's all AI. Crap. That's all fucking AI. Why is everything AI? Why does everything have to be AI? It's not that difficult to just not make AI. Come on. Is that AI? Yeah, no, is it? Yeah, that is. AI. I'm so sick of AI, guys. Yeah, there's sort of... It's a bit weird in its anatomy, but there's something. I don't think that's AI. It looks like it's from a game or something. actually type in dragon in a game, because then that way I might get better things. Dragon in games. So that way I might get something a bit easier to have a look at. Let's see. That's someone's art. I don't really want to use someone's art. Let's just go House of the Dragon. And get dragons from that. Because I'm mainly trying to look at heads right now. Get some dragon heads going so that I can have a proper look at them. I'm definitely going to try and get different sort of types. Oh, different looks. Any other good shots? Problem is, these are all wyverns, but I'm just going to focus on the head for now, not the body. You know what, that'll do. We'll just go from here, see what I can do. We need some fur dragons. They're good. They could be, it depends on how they're made, but I don't mind them. Remember those dinosaur toys that had a dragon in a box that said dinosaur and the dragon could walk? I don't remember that, no. Oh, and that's disappeared. Let me just get that back up. There we go. Okay, so my problem that I find is always getting the head shape right. It's like the heads are always kind of flat. Not fully flat, but they're like not as round as you think they would be. And that's why I always struggle. So what I need to realise is that you've got the eye. Then you've always got like a sort of brow that's happening. There's usually some sort of brow. And then it's always a bit more flat. You know, it's not a very, very bulbous head. And then I'm not necessarily going to draw a widow here. I'm just drawing generic dragons. And so that's what I do. I always feel like they look a bit stylized is my problem. I don't want them that stylized. I mean, a bit of a style is okay, so that it's like, it's my, you know, that's okay, but I don't want overly stylized. And then I always find the jaw a bit difficult. Yeah, that's not quite right. Jaw's always a bit difficult. You saw those toys exist. What did evolve to fix Simply Jaw? I mean, that'd be good. Fuck Simply Jaw. Actually, fuck Simply Jaw. Awful. Just do a general sort of generic dragon, I think. Just see what I can do with it. I always like to have the, there we go, the nostril a bit more like that. Well, I struggle with jaws. Always a difficult bit. See, I don't think I don't think I'm that good at it. I think it could be so much better. I just want to get that more realistic look. Is all. And I need to figure out the anatomy to do that. Also, this is not Willow. This is just a random ass dragon I'm drawing right now. So I'm making it up as I go along. Well, dinosaurs were all well and good, Dino, but like, I do need to have a look at the general anatomy of a dragon as well as the thing. Because they can be a bit different. It's always the head that I struggle with a bit. How do I tell that round is what I want to know. Okay, that's not too bad. That's something. Okay. Kind of makes sense. I think I understand that a bit. Let's review over there. I don't know why I made it blue, because I was going for guidelines at first, and then it just kind of ended up blue. Let's change that over. There we go. Opinion on Winds of Fire ships. I mean, yeah, I've never really read or looked into Winds of Fire, so I'm not sure. Let's try to go a bit of a bulkier one. So... needs to be streamlined, but I want it to be very bulky. Big dragon. Very, very big one with a very, very big head. Is there Dragon Lord of the Winds? I don't know. I never really... Again, in times I've never really watched. I've not watched a lot. There is a lot I've not seen or watched or bothered with because it's just not been my sort of thing. Apparently it's like a thing that YouTube did. It's like just a chat engagement. I didn't turn it on or anything. It just happened. I think it's just like, hey, you chat the most in the chat, so well done. Or something like that. I think it's just encouragement for people to talk or something. Give it a sort of jowl rather than a spike there. Two spikes on it. Again, just making up designs as I go along. Yeah, the dinosaur. Yes, I do know Draco Rex. It's one of my favourites. It's absolutely adorable. Draco Rex and Stiggy Moloch, the two with that type. They're so adorable. I love them. I'm going to give this guy an ear, by the way. Because why not? Okay, maybe I'm not as bad at this as I thought I was. I was going to dedicate a whole stream to this. And maybe I'm not as bad at this as I thought. Because these are not turning out that bad. Shit. That wasn't my idea. I thought I was going to be so much worse. Then again, I haven't even tried any bodies or anything yet, so we'll see. Maybe I am bad at making the bodies or something. Maybe heads are okay. Maybe I'm going to have trouble making the bodies. We'll see. No, you can't send pictures in YouTube chat, I'm afraid. But I do have a Discord server in the description if you want to go there, and you can send like images of art and stuff there. Horn. Horn. See, it's always the top of the head. That's why I really struggle to get the top of the head to look right. Some dragons have ears, yes, some do. Willow has ears, you can see them. Yeah, Discord is free. Discord is completely free. The server's free as well. It's just a design choice. It's a stylistic design choice. There's plenty of dragons in media and stuff that just have had ears. It is a stylistic design choice, and if you include them or not. But, you know, reptiles have ears. They do actually have ears. They're just usually not protruding ears. Yeah, that's not bad for doing it for a bulkier one. Okay, maybe heads aren't my issue with dragons. Maybe that's never been my issue, and I've over-exaggerated how, or overestimated how bad I am at them. Give you a nice bulky body as well. We have lots of small, thin spikes. Kind of bearded dragon-esque this guy turned out like, actually. Kind of turned out like a bearded dragon, which I'll take. Bearded dragons are cute. Okay, so I've kind of got the idea of it down. It's not too bad. Hey Daniel, how you doing? You know what I could do? I could try draw Willow. Maybe I should give Willow a go in this sort of more slightly realistic style. Would I draw Willow like this? We have her eye. She's got a very bird-like eye. Hang on. Her type of dragon is very streamlined, very thin. So she needs to be very, very streamlined. How her head goes. Sort of going to be looking at the new design here as well. So her nostrils that usually stick up actually have more of an arrow shape. They sort of go backwards. There's a lot of aerodynamics to them. Their mouths kind of make a bit of a pointed arrow. No, hang on, I've got to think about this. I'm not interested in poppy playtime, honestly, Daniel, so no. They have more of an arrow, like their snout goes in a bit of a pointed. Because Willow's an air dragon, it's all about aerodynamics for them and going as fast as they can. So she's going to have a very thin, streamlined head is the thing with her. Very thin and streamlined. I think. And then I think I've got that mouth right. Hang on, this is a little bit more difficult because I've got to... Somehow making a thinner one is harder than making a thicker one, like a bulkier dragon. That might be smaller, I think. Not done the mouth right. See, as soon as I go to try to draw my actual character, I can't fucking do it. Let's see if I can. Just see if I can get something down for her that's a bit more on the realistic side. A streamline head. I'll add in the other brow in a minute. The other brow, you just sort of see it come out there. Very smooth and streamlined, just like that. Still has that little overhand of a fan. Maybe not. Maybe I might go into that in her design. We'll see. I don't know. Or maybe I won't. It's part of her design to have just that little fan. Not too obvious because it's going to ruin the aerodynamics otherwise. She she has horn. Comes out here. Let's do that. Just because I happen to have room for 3, so I just have to be doing 3. So I have no rhyme or reason to what I'm doing right now. All of this is very random. So her ear. Still pretty happy with this. It's still not as streamlined as I would want it to be. Face used to be a lot flatter than it is. A lot flatter. Just like that. Very smooth. There's no sharp sort of edges. Everything's nice and smooth with them. They're perfect for fast flying. I'm not sure about connecting that. Let's just... And then she has a membrane in her ear, the top of the fur. I already did. What would you do if someone drew a picture of you and Shelby driving a car? That'd be interesting and a bit weird. And then she has 2 other horns that are very straight. A light bend in them. Set of 2. And just a little bit. Because they're sort of in a way that they sort of lay flat. Like if she puts her head back, the horns will lay flat on her neck. That's sort of how they are. That's what I mean when you have to think about a 3D space usually. So now what I need to do is actually move these in a little bit. Like that. Right, I'm not going to do the feathers in high detail. That's not what this is about. I know how to draw feathers, so I'm just going to put feathers on roughly. Yeah, the set of horns that would be visible. She has her whiskers. She has very thin blonde neck. Which means her head needs to be a little bit smaller than it is. Yeah, there we go. That's more realistic. A lot of people probably come into doing the scales and make it look a lot more realistic. Yeah, she needs to be very streamlined is the thing with these guys. Because Willow is an air dragon, and like the air dragons are known for their really fast flying, so they're really aerodynamic. I just need to make sure she looks streamlined and aerodynamic, you know. Okay, so we've okay. Let's get rid of that, get rid of those. I'm going to focus on the body now, I think. Let's focus on the body of a dragon, how the body and the wings go. So I think what I might do is I should have, yeah, is there like a dragon muscle structure would help? And there's a few, yeah, there's a few drawings for that. Is that like like a really cool one. Oh, like not cool, but like really, yeah, that one helps me see quite well, sort of how they sort of fit together. I think AI is somewhat okay as I don't post it. Yeah, but still generating the image is bad, even if you don't post it, because the generated image is it's still using a model that is stolen art, and you're still how do I put it? You're still contributing to something that is stolen artwork, and you're still generating something based on stolen artwork, and you're still doing the environmental impact by generating something, even if you don't post it. So really, that makes no difference. So we see the head is here. So let's have a think. So the neck muscles come down. So the neck will come down like that and have a bit of a chest like that. And there we can see the bicep, which comes out a bit. I'm not doing the same pose as the image, I'm just making a pose. I'm not going to do the full feet, can't be asked. Also from here, you see how the muscle intertwines to make the wing just about there. And the wing goes up and it will connect to a muscle there-ish. Yeah, the environment, that's definitely a point. Is like the environment is a problem with it as well. And the wing does that. No wind joints come from the elbow. You've got to think about it as a hand. No, AI is always stealing art. It's always like every AI model is based on stolen artwork. So no matter what you do, you'll generate something based on stolen artwork. So yeah, no, AI is just bad. Just bust it out a bit more. You can see a bit of the bicep going down into the forearm, and then the foot. And you've got thigh. And then you've got thigh, calf, foot, toes. And then you've got tail comes up and around, which connects to where the stomach, so if I do that, next there. And then if I can get the curve of the tail right, that would help. That'll do. Just have to be, well, maybe. So that's roughly the anatomy. There we go, that'll do. So that's an idea for how they work. Let's round that off a bit. Give that a little bit more definition, but this is just guidelines right now, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Yeah, I know it's a bit straight, but this is just me looking at the anatomy and not trying to completely do it perfectly right now. Second wing will probably be visible about there-ish. Then you have the membrane would come across there and do that. And since this is a folded wing, you can sort of see the membrane do that. Another bit of wing there. Wait, I always struggle with folded wings. They're kind of difficult. Oh, the fucking 6-7 meme is the worst meme I've ever fucking seen in my life. Ugh. I could actually probably just ban anyone that says it. Don't say it or I will ban you. I swear to God, I'm so sick of that meme. Right, let's take this. And then go back over it and try and make a little dragon with it. Just a very generic dragon. Hey Julia, how you doing? I'll make a very generic dragon. Doesn't need to be perfect. Tend not to even use in circles for heads, but this will do for now. Very generic one. Give it a horn that curls like that, I think, for fun. Why not? Kind of like one of my Dragon OCs, in a way. Just for fun, why not have a curly horn? Curly horns can be good sometimes. They can be fun to do. See, some people say they hate curly horns and dragons, and I'm like, lighten up a bit. Curly horns can be fun. No, I do draw right-handed. It's only that way on the face cam because it just made more sense with the perspective is all. But I am right-handed. What do you do if I drew a picture of Acacia defending you from the kid? I mean, yeah, you could, but she's got a very old design at this point. Would a dragon be theoretically... well, no, the fun fact about that is that dragons, as in the 4-leg 2 wings, are actually biologically impossible. Nothing can have 6 limbs, because the 2 wings count as limbs, so nothing can have 6 limbs. Wyverns are more plausible, because obviously they are 4-limbed, they're 2 legs, 2 wings, they're like a bat. Drakes make sense because they are 4 legs, no wings, you know, so, yeah. The actual dragon, as in... I've got to make my head a bit bigger, as in 4 legs, 2 wings are actually biologically impossible. There's a fun fact for you. Well, if you want to be a wyvern, then you're all good, because they work. They all have their certain body shapes. So a dragon, so they are all dragons, they all come under the term dragon, but there are different types. So like the 4 legs 2 wings, like this, just this, is a Western dragon. It's a European Western style dragon. Then you've got the Eastern dragons, or Chinese dragons, Asian dragons. They are the long ones without wings. They tend to have fur, feathers, whiskers, stuff like that. Trying to think what else. Wyverns are the 2 legs, 2 wings. They walk on their wings. Drakes are like 4-legged dragons, but they don't have any wings. Worms are snake-like. I can't remember if they're the ones with wings or not. I think they do have wings. Snakes with wings, basically. You've got the Quetzalcoatl, which is a feathered snake with wings, specifically. You've got, gotta think. Just gotta think what else you've got. There are a lot of different types. Hydras, which are the 3-headed ones. For me, it's drawing the body is the hardest part, because I just get lazy and like I don't want to define all the muscle structure, but really I should define the muscle structure. See exactly how it goes. I think of other. You got like Amphitheater is a type of dragon, which is another snake-like one. Yeah, there are all sorts. There are actually all sorts. See you later, Taco. Have a good day. Could do 3 toes, why not? Would it be cool to live in a universe where you can make... Yeah, that'd be cool. As long as it didn't, you know, murder me straight away. I'd be happy with that. What I need to do actually is bring the... It's like, I want it to be realistic, but I guess I'm more going for semi-realism, because I do want it to still have the flair of my style, you know? I just want to be able to draw them a bit more anatomically correct, and a bit more, just a bit better. I think once I've done this, then I am good, and I can look at, how I like to do the scales and skin and stuff. Spike on the wing. Oh, I need to readjust. Oh, and I've got a pin on Discord. Why do whenever I start streaming, everyone pins me? Stop, I'm busy. See, because I opened Discord, that went away. No, why is everything opening that I don't want to open? Oh my goodness. Okay, we're good. I made that too big. Go. I'm not going to colour this one, though. I think I'm just going to do small tests for colour and texturing and stuff. In fact, what I need to do is make that tiny tad bit more like that. No, I'm not going to colour this one, I don't think. So what I heard, the way to think about dragon wings is to think about them as a hand. So you think about it that, like, that's the bicep, that's the forearm, and then you've got these, which are like the fingers coming out. And that's how I remember seeing how to think of a dragon wing, to think of it as a hand. So already I've drawn Willow's wings incorrect this whole time, because I've put like a spike there, and that's like the elbow, so there wouldn't be one there. But I know that now, and I will sort of fix that as I go, and I will learn. This is why we are learning. You always can learn something new. How's the stream been, by the way? There's been no lag, I hope. I hope we've been all good. No one's mentioned anything, so I hope we're all right. I am English, I'm British. I'm from the UK. There is no Aussie in me. Much as I'd love to go to Australia, because I'd love to see all the wildlife there. A lot of lon? You mean a lot of lag? Okay, I'll bear that in mind. I think that's the recording. Has anyone else had lag? Or is it just Astral Myth? That's what I need to know. So if anyone else has had lag, then it's my end. If no one else has, then it's Astral's end. That's what I need to know. No one else has? Everyone else has been fine? Because my concern is why I have another instance open that's recording this at the same time that is using up CPU power, because it's not the internet anymore, my internet's fine. I fear that it's CPU power being used up, which is what is possibly making it lag. Apparently it might just be you, Astral, I'm afraid. Don't worry, I feel you, that's what it was like for me for a while. For me, for a long time, it was just lag on everything because the internet was so goddamn bad. I mean, we were paying 60 quid a month for like what was promised to be 100 megabytes per second at least, and we never even got that. And like, we're now pay what 25 quid a month for 900 megabits per second, so it was a no-brainer, really. Really, what I'm realizing here is just going to be a lot of practice and experience. And it really, I just need to keep drawing and I'll get there eventually with them. Just always found it hard to make it exactly how I want it in my head. That's the thing. I'm such a perfectionist and it doesn't appear how it wants it in my head, and then it's like, oh, it's so bad because it's not how you want it in your head. And it's like, brains, shut up. Another toe, but probably can't see it to be fair. I'll just do that to like say, hey, there's another toe there. You won't see that much of the thigh actually. This is my computer. I do most of my drawing on my computer. Not big on drawing on my iPad, honestly. I prefer computer. I prefer drawing on my PC. I always have. I don't know why. I guess it's because I use a pad tablet on my PC, which means I'm not looking down at what I'm drawing. I'm drawing on the pad but looking up at my monitor. And I think I just prefer that, honestly. Never been much of a traditional artist, so I prefer just having my hand down here and I'm looking up at my monitor. That's what I quite like that. So when I'm having to draw directly on the screen, that's when I struggle, so I'm not great on my iPad. That bit. It's not perfect, but it's just practice. It's just something. Change the angle slightly on that. Yeah, no, I'm definitely more of a PC person when it comes to drawing. Which kind of sucks because it means I like never do any drawing in my free time, because like I do all my work on my PC and then I don't want to be on my PC anymore. But then I don't want to pick up my iPad and draw either on that. So it's like I do no drawing ever in my free time. I just do what I have to do for streams and videos and that's it. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Oh my god, Taurus, you just reminded me of something. Also, hello Taurus, how you doing? You just reminded me of something. I have a book. I have a really fucking old book that has, like, Anatomy of Dragons in it and stuff. Oh, I need to go dig that out. I don't know where it is. Well, actually, no, maybe I do know where it is. Oh, I should have gone and got that before I started. I don't know if you guys know. Oh, what's it called? What is it called? I don't remember what it's called, but it's like, it's this really big decorative book, and it's a red book, and it has like dragon facts in it, and it acts as if like dragons are real. Like it's not, but it acts as if it's like a real scientific book on dragons, like if they were real. Dragonology, yes, Astral Myth, that's it, Dragonology. That is it, exactly that one. I fucking love that book. It's so good. Should have gone and got that, man. I really should have. Also, I just want to make this a little bit. There we go. Oh, I think I know where it is. Yeah, all the illustrations, all the little interactive bits you can like poke at the scale, like feel the scales, and you've got that interactive. Oh, I love that book. How impressive do you think it is that I can draw on my phone with just my fingers? Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Pretty damn impressive. I definitely can't. Oh yeah, there's always a membrane that does that. I always forget that one. There's a membrane that goes across like that. Always forget that one. Dragonology is such a good book. I should have gone and got that out before I started streaming. I'd go get it now, but I've got to dig around for ages. Or I'd have to go dig around and see and like move stuff to get into the cupboard where it is. I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Pretty sure I know where it is. But I would have to do a lot of moving around to get to it, so it's definitely not viable for me to go do right now. God, Taurus, you reminded me of that. Thank you, Taurus. Never had the Dragonology book, Dragopedia books. I've not heard of those ones. Okay, you know what? Maybe I didn't realise not how bad. Maybe I didn't realise that I'm actually not bad at drawing dragons, and I was much better than I thought I was. I thought I'd be really bad at this. Spikes on it. This is just a very generic dragon. I'm just literally pulling dragon designs out of my arse right now. Dragon. I'm just gonna Google that real quick. Dracopedia books. Dracopedia books. Oh, yeah, I've not seen these before. I've not seen these at all before. Interesting. Huh. I'll see if I can maybe grab those. Oh no, they are. Yeah, they're on Amazon. How much are they? 16 quid or 17 quid. Okay. Huh, I might have to grab those. Cool. Where's my... Oh, that's the problem with using such a thin line where I can't see my cursor. Okay, I think that'll do. I think I know what I'm doing. I think we can safely say that I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Okay. Just gonna do that. And then merge. So, I think I'm gonna now have a look at doing dragons. Oh, why has that gone away again? Just gonna have a look at doing dragon scales now, I think. Is a very difficult part to do, are the scales of a dragon. And it's like, do you want to do all the scales? Do you want to just do some scales? Like what, how, like, it's always like, how do you want to do it? And why is that keep going away? Stop it. There we go. So what I'm going to do... Just quickly, like, let me just make a quick... I can't be asked to draw it. I'm just going to do it this way. See you later, Davis. Have a good day. Just real quick, little fucking, I don't know, circle of some kind. And then in that circle, I'm going to fill it with a deep red, I think. And then let's think about making this into like a scale texture. So first of all, I'd probably have blots on, just to give it some texture to start off with. And then probably look at the general shape of it and the 3D shape and the shading of that before making the scales. Like, get a general idea of how it might... the light will bounce off of it. And then once I've got this, I'm going to try some different methods, I think. Maybe a bit of bounce light. Jelly to make the bottom darker. Another layer for darker. don't think I'd be terrified of it. I think it'd be cool to see. I understand when uses AI for it. Okay, then we need a bounce light. New video in an hour, guys. New video in an hour. Right, let's merge that, take it, and make some duplicates. I'm going to use this to make a few different experiments, I think. So, first one, I'm going to do what I did when I did that Quetzalcoatl that I drew for that one video where viewers decided what I draw. And I'm just going to, like, because what I did there was I used an overlay layer and just use that to, I'm going to make it dark red instead. Use that to sort of roughly draw in. So I need to figure out how I'm going to start it actually. Be nice and rough, just do the starting line. Just bend them around the shape. Just gotta think about it. This is just a test for how I could do it. This is roughly what I did when I did that. I'm just gonna see. And I did that so that it was dark, oh, not as dark. Now I have a base to work off so I can keep going. What do you do if I fix the rigging on Ramamba? Yeah, you could tell that the rigging is wrong because, like, when you look at it, when you look at the way his tail or whatever, like his body bends, you can see that it's really jagged and not smooth at all, which means they've not put enough bones in it or they've not weight painted it properly. That'll be the two reasons. Most likely they've not put enough bones in it. That'll probably be the main reason. It's just rough, just to see if I can get some sort of idea on how this would work. This would be the first pass. And after this pass, I would do another one of light, probably. If you want, but it's got to be a character that the algorithm will like. I know these aren't even, but whatever. I'm just trying it. Oh, God. Guys, I had to get up really early on Thursday morning, right? For Redbox's appointment, only for them to text me 10 minutes before my appointment to say it was cancelled. I was so pissed off. I just went back to bed. I was like, fuck this shit. Really quickly doing this. I don't want to spend ages getting all the scales in. Because I've got it on overlay, you can see how it adapts to the shade it's on. And then when you look back and then when you step back, it doesn't look that bad. Obviously, I'd do it a bit more neat if I was doing this properly. And then you just give the edges some light just to define them a bit more. Obviously, I would do this much neater if I were doing this properly, but I would just test in different methods. love to see your take on that mutant fusion that's basically an amalgamation of the two. Of the two who? Two of who? Hell yeah, Novalis. Everyone loves the record scratch on Novalis. I'm doing this so roughly. This could be so much neater. Right now I don't care because I do not want to spend an hour doing very, very, very specific scales. I've tried so many like brushes to make scales and they've never worked properly. Like at this point I've resigned to the fact that just drawing scales by hand just looks so much better. And maybe you can use brushes for like small areas of scales, but a brush, you can't bend the pattern of a brush around a shape, you know? It always just ends up looking flat. Oh, if it's a Bam Bam thing, it will happen. Then it will happen eventually, because I'm going to do every Bam Bam character, so it'll happen eventually if it's a Bam Bam thing. Another question for you guys: what do you think about a hand cam? Like I set up a way to have a little like a view of what my hands are doing while I'm drawing. Would that be interesting? I'd have to get a little camera for it because no way can I use my phone for that. Would that be interesting? Get this a little tiny blur, just to soften it a little bit. There, scale method number 1. Which works for simpler work, and you could probably add more to it if you just then go in and do a little bit of like just go in and then do a little bit more texturing on areas, just to really help it along, you know. It's like you've got that guideline, and then you just go in and add a bit more to it. Yeah, and that adds more to it. And I can have a dark tone. I want to just go in and make areas inside it a bit darker. Like that. So yeah, that's probably like method number 1. That works to make scales. It's definitely a method that works better when you look far away. And of course I would do it much neater if I were doing this properly. Let me just actually scale test. Do that. Pop all of these in there. There we go. Yeah, I think it'd be nice. Yeah, just it might be a while before I can do something like that because I need to be able to afford a camera and a thing to, you know, have the camera stand on, you know. I'm broke. But yeah, just a thought, you know. Just be a nice thing, possibly. Because I'm all for like helping you guys learn. If like you can see what I'm doing, that might help, you know. See what I'm physically doing with my hands. I don't know, maybe I'm talking out my arse right now. I think I can hear my cat at the door. Yeah, I can hear my cat at the door. Hang on, let's go let her in. Cat is in the room. I think we get the idea, but like I have to finish this now. I'm gonna be so annoyed if I don't. Completionism. Even if it's messy, I don't care. I need to finish it. And obviously I could use this method to like make ridge scales as well. Hello. I know you want to be on my desk, but it's a bit awkward, sweetheart. Cat is currently sat next to the microphone. Not hello. Please don't do that. Thank you. I know. I know you want attention. Are you gonna rub the microphone now? Hi. She's sniffing the microphone currently. You don't need to be bunking it around, do you? Hey, I know. Hello, baby girl. She loves attention, Flo does. I'm just having to stroke her now on my other hand. Which means I can't switch my colour. This is the hand that would usually be on my keyboard, so I can't switch my colour right now. Yeah, I know. Hello. Hello. I'm afraid she probably won't meow for you. She's not very vocal. You probably won't hear any meowing. Maybe a little bit of purring. Maybe not much meowing. Shelby, on the other hand, is very vocal. He yells a lot. Yeah, that's another advantage to a hand cam, though. I get to show you kitty cats if I get a hand cam. It's roughly adding in the tone to give it that 3D-ness to it. As I said, these are all just experiments. They are not perfect. Just me messing around with what I can do to create these textures. And then when you zoom out, there you go, scales. And what I could even do is put a little bit of soft focus on that layer, just a tad, not much. That's the wrong layer. Wait, no, this layer. Hang on, there we go. I've drawn metal plenty of times, yeah. Since I've drawn a lot of like FNAF animatronics and stuff. And from there you can always like adjust. If you want darker ridges, you can do that. If you want brighter highlights, you can do that. You can adjust it. It's quite a versatile method doing it that way. Oh, what did you hear? You hear something? Hi. Please don't stick your bum in my face. I love you. Oh, you are so loving. Oh, do you want to go out again now? Are you going to make me go open the door? What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? What are you up to? You going on the windowsill or you going out the door? Out the door. I've got to go let her out again. Go say hello now. She wants to leave. As for drawing metal, there's a very simple trick for doing metal that I tend to use. Let me just, like, I don't know, make. Red colours now. So say you have a, that's not, nope, I want this. Make metal bar. You have a metal bar. Let's fix it up a little bit. So this is your metal bar that you have. And you want it to look like a metal. Easiest way to do that. Get yourself a darker tone. Depending on how aged the metal is, you can make it, you know, textured or not. Add darkness on either edge. Blend it out. Get a lighter tone. Much lighter, it needs to be quite contrasted. And then just add that in as a highlight, like that. Blend it out. And bam, you've got metal. Simple as that. You've got something that looks like metal. Make sure that really stands out, that highlight. I'm not doing it very well right now. There you go, you've got a metal thing. Let's just put a blend on it, just to make it a little bit smoother. And you do want to try and make it a little bit more what's the word? Consistent than I did. I've made it a little bit wobbly in places, but there you go. And then obviously you want to do the rounded end. You can just do like that with a little bit of highlight on it, just show an edge, just like that. Bam, metal pipe. There you go. Easiest way to do metal, just like that. You just want something simple that's going to look like metal. There you go. Boom. Okay. So next method for scales. Trying to think of what else I've done before. I've done just blocks of, you know, like the small scales, and this is the sort of scales that Willow would have these small. She has very small scales. Almost like, I don't know if you guys have seen a leopard gecko, but tiny little scales like a leopard gecko. So what I would do for her probably. Like, not quite like that, just small little. No, I need to get a smaller brush still. We still need blocks back on. There we go. Just do small little impressions, just like that. Little circular motions, and do small little impressions of scales. Just like that. If I met Pennywise, I'd shit myself. Fuck that. Small little impressions of scales. Nice and lightly. So obviously this is going to take ages to fill this all in. So what I could then do once I've done a patch of them is copy and paste. There you go. Patch of little scales, and then I can just go boop, boop, and a boop. You know, gradually sort of do that, and then from there I can then connect them. Like that. Little scales. So I round it around the edge. I don't want to do the copy and paste constantly because you can't round it. And when I zoom out, you can see that sort of making like an impression of very small scales. And you can take these patches you've made and just copy and paste them and put them around to save time. I mean, God, I'd love to be able to do that super duper realistic art people do. God, I would die to be able to do that. I don't know if I have the skill or the patience to do it. Yeah, it's kind of looking like scales. Do another copy and paste of that patch if I just go there. Fix. Cut off ones. Really, it's just about being... So scales have a pattern, but you also do want to be a bit loose and organic with it. Because if you're too methodical with the pattern, if the pattern looks too like man-made, then it's not going to look like it's an organic biological being. You want to have a bit of looseness to it. You know, nature isn't 100% consistent. And I like to do it by hand because I can control where I want, like, harder edges or softer edges and stuff like that. Whereas if I do it with a brush, I can't control that. So, like, if I did this with, like, a scales brush and I can't control that, but doing it like this means I can control the consistency of the scales that I'm adding on. Hello Firebase, how you doing? We are indeed live. I live stream it every Friday starting at 4 PM GMT, which is UK time. If you want to catch live streams, then bear that in mind. Good to see you. I am just practicing drawing dragons. We've already done the sketching dragons part. I'm just now practicing different ways to do scales. Because scales are always a bit of a pain in the ass. So I'm looking at different ways I could do them. These are very rough, but they're just methods that I could use. This is a method for like really small scales, which is sort of scales Willow has, which is my mascot. Very sort of small scales. Just little dots. And my wrist is hurting. Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, my brain, mouth and brain, please collect. How do I say your name? Should I just call you Very? Please tell me how I say your name. I'm having a stroke over here. But yes, exactly. You want it to be more organic. Is it Very or Veery though? I mean, which way do I say it? One or two? Very or Veery? I don't like getting people's names wrong. It makes me feel bad. The latter. Okay, Veery. Cool. Got it. I don't mind extreme gore, but I think horror things need to not rely on it, is my take on that. So extreme gore in horror is fine, just don't rely on it. Don't call it horror just because it's extreme gore, you know? You need to add a bit of psychological stuff in there for it to be really, like, really horror, you know, for me. Okay, let's do another just patch that I can copy and paste over somewhere, I don't know, down here. Just copy and paste it over. Do a little bit of erasing there. Go back to it in a different way. Hey fan, how you doing? Good to see you. New videos coming soon, guys. Soon. Yeah, exactly. And like psychological horror, things that you mess with your head as well. Like things you can't quite understand, like Cthulhu kind of. I mean, not so much nowadays because Cthulhu has like a physical appearance that's shown so often, but originally Cthulhu was meant to be like this big eldritch monster you can't the human brain can't comprehend, and that is the sort of like really good horror, you know. So really what I'm realising here is you need to do different methods for scales depending on what kind of scales they are. That's a lot of the case with art. There's no set in stone method for a lot of things. A lot of it is just you adapt to how you need to make it. If that makes sense. Like, so rather than doing one method for every single instance of making that thing, so rather than me doing one method for every single instance of scales, like imagine if I did this method here for these little tiny scales, like how much of a pain that would be. So you need to adapt your method to what you are doing. But my wrist is hurting, I will say that. Which means every time I draw Willow in true style, in like true detail, it's gonna fucking suck. Because I gotta make these stupid little scales for her, because that's the type of scale she has, these stupid little ones. Why did I decide that? I don't know. I guess I hate myself. I want to torture myself with tiny little scales every time I draw her. This reminds me of when I was in college. I did fine art in college. It was, the course was called fine art. It's not fine art. It was just art. You could literally do anything in any medium you wanted, which meant from one of my projects, I actually did digital art. I mean, back then, this was like 2017, 2018 times. So I wasn't as good then as I am now, obviously. But I did digital art. Before I did digital art, though, for one of my coursework themes, I did pointillism, which is literally making images out of dots, which is a really cool and fun style to do. But oh my god, did I fucking regret my life choice. Oh, I was sat there, because the exam for art is you making your final piece. So your final piece is your big grand piece that you work towards within your coursework. So basically within the course, you have to do all these experiments and stuff, and then write essays about why this is going to help you make your final piece, why you're using these decisions on methods for your final piece. And then the exam is that you sit down in the room silently in exam conditions and you make your final piece during that time, which is like 3 hours or something like that, or like 4 hours. Like it's a lot of hours spread into different sessions, because obviously they understand that art takes a long time. And I had chosen pointillism for a huge A3 final piece, probably even bigger than A3. I think it was probably more A2. It was a huge piece of paper. And I was doing pointillism, so I was doing all these tiny little dots to make up an image, and I was so done with it by the end. And everyone else in the room was like, Drago, why did you choose to do this? Because they could hear me going, yeah, I don't know if you could hear that, but they could hear me doing the dots with my pen, because it was a silent room in exam conditions. And I was like, I'm so sorry, everyone. It was so awkward. Thankfully, everyone in my class was nice, so they were like, so they were all jokingly saying about it. They were all nice, but it was like, we had a laugh. I was like, God, why did I choose to do that to myself? Pointillism is fun, though, just gets very tedious. How do you think what I mentioned can mess with the brain? What did he mention? Like creatures with weird looking appearances. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, like Cthulhu was meant to be something like that until he became more like a, you know. Yeah, I think it was more like 4 or 5 hours, actually, Veery. I can't remember exactly. It was a long, like I said, 2017, 2018 time. I don't really remember. But it was like a couple of few hour sessions spread into a few, you know, different sessions. Hey, Incognito, how you doing? Incognito canned tomato sauce. I fucking love your name, okay? That is an amazing name. That's one of the best usernames I've ever seen in a while. Okay. Method 2 for scales. There you go. There's method 2. Method 3, though, I did have something in mind. I can't remember what it was now. I think it was similar to that method, but it was more doing it like, actually like painting it in. But I hate doing like pure painting, you know. I'm not, let me just give it a go, but I'm not much of a pure painting person. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do big scales like this. I'm not much of a pure painting person though. I like to be able to use my hard lines and stuff. Yeah, I'm just not much of a painter. I'm really, really not much of a painter at all. Yeah, this probably isn't. No, I know I'm giving up on that immediately. Well, basically, those are the two methods. And I guess both those methods work. I'd obviously make this method. I would make it a lot smoother and neater if I were doing it properly. As for this method, I make them a little bit more consistent. And I probably add a few more tones in places. But if you zoom out, Both of those look fine for scales, I guess. They both work for scales, yeah. I mean, if you've got normal size scales and smaller scales, they both work, I think. Do they both work? Also, hello, Lady Uni, how you doing? No, I'm sure that they both work. I just want to try something. Anything to try surgeons measure that could mess with the brain. Now, surgeons with razor-sharp teeth and sharp spines and crocodile-like skin. See, that... The problem with that is it's not so much messing with the brain. Messing with the brain is doing something that the brain won't expect. Now, brain, when it comes to scary, a brain expects sharp teeth and sharp spines and stuff. That's what we expect. For true messing with the brain, you want to do something that you won't expect. The brain won't expect. You want to completely subvert expectations, and that will mess with you. Oh, the control meme? Oh god, that was so long ago. Glad you've stuck around since then. I'm just going to try a scale shape here. I'm drawing one singular scale here. Also, I just need to get up and close my curtains because it's gone dark now. Oh, I hate when it gets dark early. Give me a second. Let's close these. That's not... Oh, God. You know what, guys? I actually also need to go pee, so I'm gonna just go pop it on the do not disturb. God no. The BRB, the be right back screen. I will be the fuck brain. Oh my god! You think I'd have like 10 cups of coffee or something, but I don't drink coffee. I'm just gonna put it on the be right back screen. I'm gonna go pee. I'll be 2 minutes. Yeah. Hello. Okay, I'm back. Oh, right. Now what I want to do here is I want to focus on one scale. I want to focus on just like texture in one scale. Most people call it rendering. I don't know why I call it texturing. It is technically just rendering. I don't know why. I'm special. Not in a good way. Oh god, I think I'm fucking hyper at the moment, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. I've not even had any sugar or anything today. I'm just out of it for some reason. Maybe it's because I had painkillers. Maybe it's because I had strong painkillers in my head. Hey, Voice Script, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, guys, just 12... brain! 22 minutes! 22 minutes till the video uploads. And remember, if you become a channel member, then you can watch videos 24 hours early. So become a channel member if you want to get videos early. Wink, wink. No, it's fine. It's a paid thing, so you don't have to do it. I understand if you don't do it. But also remember that we do have that member goal. You can see up at the top. Get this fucking line right. You can see it up at the top. We've already got 5 members, and if we get 5 more, then we will do a Gartic phone stream, where we will play Gartic phone live on stream, and you guys can join in, and it'll just be fun. Right, now let's have a look. So what I'm going to do, get a darker tones and do that like that, and do that. A lighter tone, move that up and do that. And just see what I can do here. So obviously there's going to be a 3D look to it. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, no worry, Voice Script. I'm like I said, I understand people don't want to do it because it's a paid thing. Like, especially with the state of the things nowadays. Like, I totally understand. Totally understand. I understand if you don't want to do it. Absolutely no pressure for it. It's just a little incentive if people want to support a bit more. And also, my business and store will be up soon, so there's also another way to support me if you want to do like a one-time purchase and get something in return. Why do you think highly sharp fans are so interested in horror? I think it's because, yeah, like you said, we associate it with something being violent. Or something like a snake, you know. Snakes are known for having really big fans and they're venomous and a lot of people are scared of snakes. You know, it's just human psychology. And then make sure it's a bit like a ridge. By the way, guys, stream tomorrow on the gaming channel as well, which is in the description if you want to go get, if you have not already subscribed to the gaming channel. And that will be Ratchet & Clank A Crack in Time with only the Dynamo of Doom, which is a very interesting weapon in the game. So we'll see if we can beat it with only that weapon. Okay, the stream is frozen on my end. Are we good, guys? Oh no, we are good. It's just for some reason wasn't played on my end. Just checking. Just checking. We are good. Do you think a Triceratops with the features I mentioned would at least weird? It would be weird, but it's also like everyone just expects that in horror, you know? If you want a truly unique design, you need to subvert expectations. It'd be more interesting if it was like a herbivore that looked like a normal herbivore first and then twisted and mutated into that right in front of you sort of thing, rather than just looking like that. Well, mass is satisfying to use with low sensitivity. Buttons to swap between low and highs that can work. Oh, that's interesting. I do want to try a drawing with mouse only challenge, which I feel like is going to go so badly. There's no way I can draw well on my mouse. I've been using the tablet for like, God, since 2015 I've used a tablet, so yeah, it's going to be weird drawing with just a mouse if I ever do that challenge. So I'm trying to do like a ridge scale that's got like a high up, like a ridge in the middle of it. A little ridge in the middle. Zoom it out a bit. That's not bad. It's like a rough idea of it. If I were doing this properly, I'd probably add more tones and shades in areas. But now I'm only using 2 tones. I could play Reaper again. It'd be on the gaming channel if I did. If I could gather people to do it. There is also a new video coming out on the gaming channel soon. It'll be... It's not actually the video for that thumbnail that I drew the last couple of streams. Which is Ratchet and Clank, the original Ratchet and Clank game, but it's the 10 people multiplayer video because we use the multiplayer mod, and it's also a randomized mod, so it's like absolute chaos. Yeah, I'm gonna edit that video and that'll be on the gaming channel at some point soon. Okay, that's like a ridge scale, that'll do. Okay, so obviously I'm capable of doing things like this. I've just doubted myself massively. Made myself think I can't do this. Oh, nice voice script. What can I try now? So we've tried scales. We've done a sketch of a body. We've done sketches, rough sketches of heads. Really, that's a lot of the practice I need to do, really, isn't it? Let's see if I can just do one from memory without looking at any reference. That's probably a good place to go. With approximations, fairy tale, analog horror can disguise yourself as a normal piece silicon wall. It works, yeah. Again, it is something that's a little bit overused, but it works. And let's try just sketching from complete memory. We're not looking at any reference. We're just going to do it. Oh, I have a chunky dragon. I have a couple of OC dragons that are chunky. There are indeed chunky dragons. I'm not doing that. I'm already not doing it right. Willow is just one of the slimmer ones because of her fuck me. She is an air dragon and they are very slim and streamlined for aerodynamics. So they can fly quickly. That's what you're used to from me. As I'm already forgetting. Oh god. Fine, we're fine. Don't panic. Just do it. That's what I've done on the eyes too far back. Do that. I'm already forgetting how to draw. Fuck my life. That's a bit of a better eye placement. Oh, fuck me. Right, quick look. Okay, understand. I remember again now. I remember again now. Yeah, that could be fun, Astral. That could definitely be a stream we can do. always feel like I put the eye in the wrong place is a lot of my issue. Oh my god, like I just... Why did I do it fine there and now I just suddenly can't fucking do it? Let's just do what I'm used to. I tend to like to draw at a downwards angle, which sounds weird, but that just tends to be what works for me. And then bring it up. Which then shows me that the eye needs moving. Very arrow-shaped head. Streamline, arrow shape. Still can't get this right. Muzzle isn't long enough. Or snout, I should say. It's more of a snout on a dragon. Yeah, that's better. Curl that around. Like that. So I need to think about, because if you think about air, it's going to cut. Oh, hold on, let me draw the rest of the head and I'll show you how air would work with this. Because I sort of do know about aerodynamics. I just sort of learned it roughly from F1. So if you can't tell, it is Willow. If you haven't guessed already. I've not really done a side profile of for a while. But the head is quite right. Her horns are almost completely parallel to her head. Also, we have our feathers. Just going to obviously sort of lay flat for more aerodynamics, but for now we're just going to roughly put them in. Don't worry too much about them being perfect currently. Second set of horns. More close like that because it's just a side profile. Now I'm going to slightly change the horn angle because they are meant to be a little bit more flat than that. A little bit more flat. Tidy it up a bit, fix it up, tidy it up. Try not to zoom in too much. I'm going to get too caught up in the details if I do. I don't want to get too caught up in details right now. She, of course, has her feathers, which come from a point her nose. Okay, let's think. Is it like 2? There we go. That's actually made it a bit better just doing that. She's a very slim, streamlined dragon. Fine. No, not smaller eye. I feel like I never get eyes right. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. That's roughly. Leave that. Very sort of slim neck. Smaller to fit her in. Slim and thin neck. Quite long neck as well. It's a movie. Oh, you got rid of it. Never mind. I did see it. I was about to read it out and you got rid of it. Hey, Dax and stuff. How you doing? Now, what I find helps is to actually just sort of draw in the body and then draw in the limbs. Sounds weird, but if I draw in how the body generally sits, like that, should be definitely a bit longer. I'm good. I'm good. Seeing if I can get a good idea of dragons too. Not slim enough. She's very tall. She has tall legs. Long, tall legs. Long, tall, thin legs. Who does the head definitely needs to be bigger? I was looking at it, like, does it need to be bigger? It does need to be bigger. To move it more like that. So you've got neck looks more like it's coming out, honestly. Just like that, I think. Her wing. There. We need a lot more room for her wing because she has very big wings. Quite a big point of the air dragons again is that they have very big wings. Very, very, very big wings. For very skilled flying. Make it even smaller again. Very big wings. Draw a good circle with a mouse. Hang on, mouse. It's my stabilizer what I say, but it does not work on mouse, so no. Okay, it kind of does. Oh, there's no way. There's no way. I've not got enough room to move my whole arm in my mouse. I have to do it with my wrist. Yeah, no way. No way. Ain't happening. She has thin limbs for her wing. She's very, 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 very slim and thin. And that's just how air dragons are. Everything for them is about speed and agility. The other feathers in. Other leg. Move back a bit. According to the anatomy that I looked at, the legs should be that far forward, but to me it just doesn't look right having it that far forward. Let's think about feet. And they do have one that's almost like a thumb, but it's going to be on the side, obviously, so you won't see it from this angle. So what I'll do is I'll put like that just so you kind of see it. You obviously have the other foot. Can I be asked to draw the other foot in complete detail? No, I can't, so I'm not going to. Calf muscle. They almost remind me of horses in a way. I don't know why. Yeah, no, I'm going to move those front legs back. I don't care what the anatomy thing said. They don't look right there. Move them back. The chest is more covering them like that. I'm not fully happy with it, but it's a bit better. Let this come in a bit more like that because she is meant to be very slim. Well, slim compared to the other dragons. Meanwhile, the other main character, Acacia, is incredibly chunky. She's a big gal because she is an earth dragon, so she is big and strong and chunky, and we love her for that. Right, we need to put that up a bit, it's not quite in line. There's in line a little bit up. Always hard to do the other leg. The other back leg, that is. I was like, where do you put it? You know what? I am lazy. I am lazy. Actually, that doesn't work. Oh, new video's out, guys. New video. Hit release. Okay, watch it after the stream, not right now. Her tail in. Oh, we're here. Nice long tail. And her tail will have flight feathers on it. We'll do that in a minute. For the time being, let's figure out her wing, which is still too small. When I say they have big wings, I mean they have giant wings compared to their body. They have huge wings for their flight, which is why they are the most skilled flyers of all the dragon species. Big wings, yeah, there we go. Big, big wings. She has the wispy feathers at the end of her wings. And let's do the different parts. And they are not the bony ones, they are the very streamlined, slim ones. She is all about aerodynamics. Just like that. Also has the membrane that cuts across this bit. Oh my gosh, she's finally looking like I've always wanted her to look. Wings. This is a fold. We have the membrane attaches to our body. If you want your dragons to be realistic, always attach your membrane to the body. Don't end it here. Because in some media, let me show you what I mean. In some media, like Spyro is a main example, they end the membrane here like that, so it's not actually connected to the body. That's not realistic for flight. If you want it to be more realistic, connect the membrane to the body like that. And then then it's more realistic in how they can fly. Of course, if you want to do stylistic, then you can do it however you want, but if you want more realistic, then bear that in mind. Now, imagine that wing pretty stretched out. They have huge wings. It does look cursive. It looks cursive if it's a realistic style. Now, if it's something like Spyro, where it's more like a style, you know, it's stylized, it's a bit more, you know, cartoony in a way, then it's not as bad. But yeah, in a realistic style, it does look very cursed, because that's just not how flight works. A bird dragon, well, I guess you can make a bird and... But I don't know, actually. I struggle to say how I would without doing it. Okay, flight feathers. She has flight feathers. She has one more sturdy one that's like that. It's smoother and it's more sturdy on the end. She has other flight feathers. These are big because they are for flight. And I'm going to change her design so she has more running down her tail. That all help with flight. If she ever loses these feathers, she would be fucked. She wouldn't be able to fly. And some of the back feathers run down the tail for a little bit. Not too far, just a little bit. Not all of it. And that's her. That's Willow. There we go. I think I've also just accidentally done her redesign as well. So when I say redesign with Willow, it's not much of a redesign. It's just more of like updating her design a bit. Make it look a bit better. So I need to give it the wispy. Does it go on her arms there? All of the air dragons, they are scaled, but they also do have the tufts of feathers. Fun fact, the males have more feathers because they do it for mating rituals. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm making a whole world building around my dragons because I want to write a novel around them. Her teeth are just normal teeth. They're just teeth. They're just normal dragon carnivore teeth, really. There's nothing much very special about them. Let's draw in the other wing, because why not? I like having both wings on display. Yeah, I've got so many characters I want to design. So I feel like if I design them, then I'm going to have a better job at describing them in the book in words, you know. So I want to design them in writing. That's coming there. It's going to be visible about here. It's coming along, visible about there. This is a different wing. It's not the edge of that wing. It is a different one. Yeah. Maybe the tail feathers are a bit big, actually. Let's make the tail feathers a bit smaller than that. Be a bit more realistic with it. Smaller, actually. Yeah, that's a bit better, actually. That works a bit better. Just tidy up where it's got a bit messy there. And really, these feathers would be coming out the side like that, rather than being, like, coming from the bottom and top. They're coming out the side. Nice. I think that's her then. I think that's pretty much her redesigned, except it's not full redesign. It's just making her look a bit better design. She has sort of normal bird pupil, rounded pupil. Scales, that's where scales they would. She has the usual scales you would find along the mouth that do that. You know, those lipped scales that reptiles have. And then the rest of her scales are those super duper tiny little small round ones. I have two bird dragon OCs. One who looks like a bird than a dragon, and one who's more dragon than bird. Nice. Really, that the air dragons are like the bird dragons of the world. They have some bird features to them, like they have the feathers. I think they're the only main feathered species that they have. The feathers are, other than the flight feathers, all the other feathers are for like decoration and showing off. The males will have bigger, more colourful feathers, like how male birds do for the mating rituals. They're able to, like, you know how like cockatoos can have the head feathers, you know, flare up when they're like angry or whatever. The air dragons can do that with the feathers on their head. They will flare up. And they also have the really sort of thin, long tongues that birds do, the thin, long, pointed tongues that some birds have. They are the most bird-like of the dragon world. But yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think we've done pretty well. I mean, I forgot I did that at the start. I did that little sketch. So we started with looking at Komodo dragon. Then we went on to doing some different heads, looking at different styles. Then we did a general sort of look at that, which isn't bad. And then I drew Willow, just from complete memory, without looking at anything. Obviously, we also looked at scales, and how I could do scales, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. I think I've gotten, you know, a decent amount out of this practice. Like, a decent amount of learning out of it. And I feel like the structures and stuff are sort of stuck in my brain a bit now. And I think I'm feeling confident to now start sketching their concept designs, which is what is scheduled for next week, is sketching the concept designs for the dragons. Because I have a lot of them, and I have a lot of, like, I need to figure out how they're going to look. So that was going to be next week. Yeah, I think it's not bad for the fact that I have never really done full realistic dragons. I guess if I feel like it needs to come from further in. So they obviously have the throats at the kind of how reptiles have the thinner bit of skin between the two jowls, the two jaws. And that will go in and out as they breathe. And then I feel like I need to make it a bit slimmer and puff the chest out more. Yeah, actually. I think that's a bit better if I puff the chest out like that a bit more. Oh, you asked a question. Do you think a T-Rex that can eject venom can toggle the brain and it's a baby T-Rex who could turn itself into a monster? Yeah, I don't really know what you mean. Okay, I think we're pretty much done, honestly. I think that's pretty much all we need to do. We've figured it out. I've figured out how to look at the anatomy and the muscle structure. I think I can get some looking pretty decent now. So next stream, I'm going to do sketches, concept sketches of the designs of all the dragons, or as many as I can think of in the time and do in the time. And yeah, so thank you everyone for coming out, I guess. Hope you all enjoyed. The new video is out. It released 12 minutes ago, so if you want to go watch that, then feel free to go watch it. I did actually forget that she needs her membrane. Like that. There we go. But yeah, so new video is out, and I'm going to end stream here, and next time we will do concept sketching for the other dragons. So thank you everyone for coming out and watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in, well, tomorrow I'm streaming on my gaming channel if you want to go there, subscribe to that. Otherwise, I will see you all next Friday. Goodbye everyone, goodbye.